Hello Digimon figure enthusiasts! This is Mega881000 again, and this is my update about the recently teased, in quotation marks only, new SH Figuarts Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode figure, because there was now the official informations and the official promotion update from Bandai Tamashii Nations. Last time I made a bit of my own pre-thoughts about this teaser banner here, and this video is now mainly about my thoughts on the next release, and we deepen our thoughts and speaking about a bit if it was necessary to bring a remake of the already perfect SH Figuarts Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode figure under the premium color edition again. I already questioned that in my recent shorter update, but also said let's see and wait. I will also show you the official promotion update and the obligatory promotion pictures of that update within this update, or along with this update. First of all, they have now made it official that the new repainted figure of SH Figuarts Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode, which was released in 2014, will now also, and as most did expected it, be released under the premium color edition name. So no surprise about that. Now we have the official pictures and informations, and we know what we fans will get, and I have to say that it is quite sobering what they offering to us for the next premium color edition release this time. And before I start with the informations from the update and the postings about from the With the Will forum, I have to start for this update with you here first and foremost, and actually also mainly to describe my first impressions and feelings from the pictures, which will turn out to be actually and sadly very negative this time, and sadly fall below the already rather low expectations that some, and me included, had about this teaser. Because I said in the last update that I have very low expectations on a remake of the already quite perfect 2014 SH Figuarts Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode, and that we should lower our expectations for improvements very far here. Because in this last teaser picture you could already guess from the silhouette that the figure will be exactly the same mold like the 2014 version back then, and apart from a different color style and maybe a few additional option parts which the old figure did not include it, in no other way any improvements other than mainly the new premium color edition color scheme should be expected. That's what I said recently. But as you can see in the various pictures, we don't even get additional option parts that were not included with the 2014 version, because you could have expected at least a few more option parts or not. And this is, as I said, more than very sobering. I mean, it was clear from the start that we would not get a completely new mold from Bandai, but that doesn't have to be as well, because the mold of the 2014 version was already perfect, and the old figure came with all the important option parts already as well. So they should have offered us more in this regard if there was nothing else to improve on the figure itself. Don't you think? So from the visual point of view, Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode Premium Color Edition is just exactly the same repainted figure from the 2014 version, with exactly the same option parts, with the now matching paint job to the rest of the figure, and the old one was in those both respects actually and already very good as well. The only noticeable changes or differences to the 2014 Imperial Dramon Fighter mode in the color scheme are, as you can see, that the new, in quotation marks, new one now has a gold-plated finish for the gold-colored details, which of course looks and fits very well. It also looks as if the helmet has an adapted plated blue paint too, instead of the matte plastic look of the 2014 version's wings. The wings also have a plated red finish now, and otherwise the main color here is that pearl black with a few pearl white paint apps, which is just typical for the new premium color edition color style, and further plated red details we have mainly for the dragon head on the chest. In addition, the middle main body section is no longer just a matte black molding color, but painted black now, similar to the new Alphamon. But at the end of the day, this is without question much too less, also to offer this immense full price. For this time just repaint, which Bandai suggested for 8,250 yen, which would be about 75 and 36 US dollars, or about 63 and 43 euros. For the first two repaints, Omegamon and Alphamon Uryuken Premium Color Edition figures, Bandai has at least offered immense improvements compared to their original versions, like the poseable new cloth capes for both of them, a new very nice paint style for Omegamon, and even additional foot joints and other minor improvements. This also applies to Alphamon Uryuken Mode Premium Color Edition with the improved color design, which now corresponds exactly to Kenji Watanabe's own imagination of the correct color design or representation for his Alphamon. And Alphamon comes with additional option ports like the sword Gradalfa and the additional wing option ports to be able to display him now as the correct Uryuken mode. Which the two remakes and the full prices for these two previous premium color edition figure versions, which I have highly praised as well, almost justifies, because Bandai has really made an effort here. And what do we get in contrast to this for Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode Premium Color Edition? Right, nothing. Nothing but an exact repaint with a new color scheme and the exact same number of option parts, which is really more than weak from Bandai and therefore in no way justifies the new full price. And you are about to fall off your chairs if I tell you that I checked that the suggested retail price by Bandai was even lower for the 2014 Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode figure back then. Yes, you heard right. As you can see, it was only 6,930 yen, which was about 63 and 30 US dollars, or about 53 and 20 euros. So the repaint is now 12 or $06 more. Excuse me, the repaint is now 12 and $06 more, or 10 euros more than the original version back then, which is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, last time they had to create it from scratch and had to design it completely as a new figure from nothing. This time they just had to paint the old mold with different colors, which for me is in no relation to each other. So that's really crazy to sell the repaint even more expensive, and this justifies in no way this decision, just grotesque. Or how do you see this, people? I also don't think that any further improvements have been considered here, such as additional joints. If they even don't consider it additional new option parts, not even an energy effect part for his positron laser. At least that must have been in the package for slightly over $12 more. Or what do you think? And for the reason mentioned before, it should actually must been possible to offer the figure for at least almost 12 or over 23 US dollars less. Not that you get me wrong with all this, I really like the 2014 Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode figure because it was just perfect all around already. The only weak points are the balancing, because the figure is very top heavy, which Bandai hopefully should have at least improved for this repaint now, but nothing was mentioned about it at the With the Will forum, so I wouldn't bet on it here either. And another little weak point was that they did not consider the paint app for a zip on the middle body section, which the old Duriel figure even had, despite it is now an old figure. But missing this paint app for the zip again for a premium color edition is also kinda bad for this remake. And that the 2014 version was pretty much perfect and came with all the important option parts already, that's also the biggest problem for the repaint now. And as I mentioned in the last update, many others, and me including, saw for such a perfect figure very little room for further improvements for a remake compared to the first two Omegamon and Alphamon Uryuken Premium Color Edition figures. Apart from the new Premium Color Edition color style and, as I said, additional new option parts, there was very little room for improvements here. For the option parts, Sam and myself had a lot of good ideas, which I mentioned in the recent pre-thoughts video about a teaser image, but we don't get one single new additional option part. Why not use, for example, the new lever-like cape design from Omegamon PCE for the wings of Imperial Dramon? That would have been something new, groundbreaking. Just to mention just one of the ideas for a real upgrade compared to the original version again. I said last time about the teaser image already that for all of the reasons mentioned before, the Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode figure was simply the wrong choice by Bandai, and so I still stick to this opinion that this was also wasted potential for a better choice for a remake of another figure. As mentioned last, I would have rather seen Diord's Dukemon as the next in line just because of the new cape theme. The former Diord's Dukemon figure would have alone through this more potential. With the choice of Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode as a premium color edition repaint figure with an even higher price for an exactly same figure as a repaint of the 2014 version, I think they really took the cake with milking the mold. That's really weak and absolutely not nice, Bandai. Since also considering bladed parts or bladed colored parts are not as much loved among some figure collectors in general because of the durability and flaking off issues you usually or kinda have, you know, especially with bladed red parts. Personally, such a bladed look reminds me more of a such typical cheap KO figure of back then, or KO figures of back then in general, but that's also definitely a matter of taste. I don't find the bladed gold and other bladed details so bad, as well as the bladed blue helmet or the bladed red for the lower part of the dragon head chest armor goes, or as far those details are going, and those sections actually looking well. But I think the bladed red they chosen for the wings is absolutely unsuitable and inaccurate and corresponds in no way to the correct representation for Imperial Dramon's wings in general. Also with regard to the original character design and Bandai's illustrations or designs in games or in the anime, movies, etc., it is in no way accurate. Imperial Dramon's wings of fighter mode or dragon mode are not shimmering metal wings, or this are not meant to be metal wings on Imperial Dramon in general, even with no thin metal coating or something like this. The wings look more like natural skin wings and should rather has a matte texture, perhaps with a bit of nice shading, like Mega House designed and implemented the wings on the Precious GM figure here. I think Mega House done an absolutely perfect job for his wings, but not this bladed red here Bandai used for this premium color fighter mode. No! I really don't know what to think about this, because it just doesn't match Imperial Dramon's original wing design at all. And I really don't know what the designers had in mind to color them that way. I mean, imagine the meeting where it was all about the planning of the color design for the wings. Was there seriously a designer who brought up this proposal for these bladed red wings, and then there were really several people, or the majority, who said or meant, "Hey man, that is an absolutely good idea. That's how we will do it, and that's how we do exactly imagine Imperial Dramon's wings has to look." And then there must have been someone from the upper design department who said yes to this whole thing and found this idea to be good and matching. Really? But seriously, now that can't be, and Kenji Watanabe was probably on vacation during that time, or what? He would have prevented something like that. Doesn't he, Wood? That bladed parts may look visually cool and also standing out, but it is absolutely unsuitable for Imperial Dramon's wings to give them this bladed red. Not even metallic red would be suitable. And it just seems very forced to have at least something optically to distract from the fact that it is actually the same figure from 2014, and to sell this feature as the most striking change or difference, or at least to have something that justifies the purchase target. For me, it remains milking the mold, and this in the most extreme way, and unfortunately I can't get a lot of positive things from the whole thing here, and what we would get in quotation marks. So I think that will be rather an easy skip for many, including me. And it will be only interesting for those who do not have the 2014 figure version, or who missed the recent mentioned resale in 2019 with the held back copies, which was not limited to Japan and even available to a wider mass in the Western world. And those inaccurate bladed red wings would put me off, because the old style for the wings just fitted better. Just because of this wrong color scheme for the wings now, which also is in large part of the figure, I would personally rather try to get the 2014 figure version from this resale, if I didn't would have this 2014 Figuarts Imperial Dramon fighter mode. Now let us get to the content of the actual official update, which again has the same build up as the two other 4 Omegamon and Alphamon PCEs had before. And the translated informations about it from the With the Will forum entry. I'm going to do that rather short this time too, because in my eyes it is just an overpriced repainted figure with a rather controversial and not matching color scheme for the wings, and it feels more like that they just try to put lipstick on the pig here to whitewash it to something more, which it actually isn't in reality. Of course, like by the other two figures before, it is beautifully staged again and it looks great how they have designed it here again for that update and for this promotion, but the bitter taste or bitter aftertaste will still be with us, I think. I will of course have linked the official Bandai page and the With the Will forum site entries again in the video description down below here. First of all, we have this typical official announcement promotion image on the official Bandai page, and underneath the two promotion images with the figure nicely staged with a few Japanese writings. The design is very reminiscent of the Evo scene and is nice to look at it. Underneath the name and the character info box, no English translation again, but it is overall similar to the promotion update design of the other two figures before. So this here will be some character bio again in connection with a short homage to the appearance in the anime or the movies. Below that, only the size of the figure is mentioned in the forum, which will be 16 centimeters or almost about 6.3 inches tall, like the old figure. At the Bandai page you can find these official promotion images and various informations below. Unfortunately, this gets not automatically translated into English either. I would have liked to have known how Bandai hammered up to promoting it and how much lipstick they put on the pic here to make it sounding something better, which it isn't actually in reality, how I said before. The build-up and the design is similar to that of Omegamon's and Alphamon's promotion page. Like I also said before, in the forum there is the following short entry about these different points and the original informations about this official promotion update. A big focus here is on the new coloring featuring new metallic and pearl paint. Just like by the other two before, they especially note the upgraded gold ports and wings. For the other plated details, I do agree with them, as already mentioned, they don't look bad either, but do I have to say something more about the wrongly implemented plated red wings? And with this coloring of the wings I see rather a worsening than an improvement against the original version. A natural matte look with some nice shading would have looked 1,000 times better than this very unsuitable plated red wings. And yes, I'm going to stop about that topic now. Below you can read in the forum following. In addition, it includes a theatrical version of Gigadeath as a new accessory. Or rather, Gigadeath in the color design of the movie, I guess they were referring to. However, I don't know what Bandai would actually like to say with that exactly, because this option part is by no means new, because the 2014 version already included exactly the same part, mold-wise, which has now a more adapted color scheme to the rest, which should be also this way, but that they must edit this and mention this as a new option part is very wrong and misleading, and unfortunately not nice to promote it as something completely new. As I said, here this makes again very clearly that they try to ham it up hard and put lipstick on the pic, although there is actually nothing new behind it. Pooh, Bandai! One member also added that the Gigadeath weapon, despite the highlighting that it now has the color design from the movie, it's still basically the same molded piece and the same mold-wise, which was included with the 2014 version. Just now with the adapted color scheme to the rest of the figure, which, as mentioned before, was a must to adapt the color style for Gigadeath to the rest of the figure. I really don't understand why Bandai has to beat a dead horse about this same part and promoting it as something special new here. This option port is exactly the same as it came with the 2014 version, also the way to attach it looks also exactly the same from the pictures. How should it be even any different if the molds are all the same for everything? If they made differently designed effect ports for each weapon option, I would have slightly agreed with them, but I didn't even done that for one of these 3 weapon option ports, which is just more than lame. And so they are really trying to sell us an old pair of shoes as a new one. Don't you think that too? I'm sorry, but I can't find anything positive about this. Especially if they placed such extreme emphasis on the look of the details to match them to the movie design, which can actually be deduced from this. So what was going on with the plated red rings during the planning? In the movies and never anywhere else before, they definitely never had a plated red look. And we're just rather matte orange or darker red. So Bandai, what are these extremely forced sales arguments with the design of Gigadeath supposed to be? Again, below this we have the usual component list or list of contents at the forum. Excuse me please for the many mistakes again, as well as on the official page. And this is what Figuarts Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode Premium Color Edition includes. The main figure itself, interchangeable hands. As you can see from the pictures, they are the same mold-wise and the same number of hands as the 2014 version included. Then the positron laser and the Gigadeath, here highlighted in brackets again as the theatrical color version. Again, I would like to emphasize that this weapon is nothing new mold-wise, but I have said enough negative things about that topic before, you know. In addition, such a move-able stand is again included in the package. There's also no special mentioning if we will at least get the new, better extended version of the new figures or a remake of the shorter 2014 original version. Also missing is the listing of the third weapon option, this emitter lens thingy, the so-called Iron Blaster that he can extend out from his dragon head shaped chest armor, with which he charges a bolt of energy that explodes. So don't get me wrong, on the Bandai promotion page you can already see this option port in the images with some notes, but probably the member who posted the update at the With the Will forum forgot to list it there for his own listing. By the way, the entry in the With the Will forum is from the 20th July 2021, and surprisingly there are not such negative comments from the various members to be read below about how bad this release is actually, because I think it's really bad. But on the other hand, also only 3 members commented on the posted update, which were definitely always much more members before at other entries about other figures. Probably a possible lack of interest for Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode Premium Color Edition is already emerging from this fact. For all who are interested, the pre-order option has been opened already for longer time for now, and you can pre-order it at Premium Bandai Japan, and the figure will be shipped in December 2021. However, you can already find others for pre-order options at international online shop pages, so to get this figure will actually be easy. In the forum there was the following short summary from the member who posted about this update below. Much like Omegamon and Alphamon, this one has some nice upgrades over the original version, which feels a bit more impressive considering the original version was pretty solid. Well, okay. This time I personally see it very differently, and I have to disagree with this member, because compared to Omegamon and Alphamon Premium Color Edition Impeltramon Fighter Mode, PCE unfortunately did not receive such great upgrades to this extent, at least even only visually, and in compare which amount of improvements the other two received before is never in life comparable to what we get with Impeltramon now. And let's be honest, for Impeltramon we didn't get any upgrades at all that are in any way comparable to the other two figures before. You already know the reasons, and it is rather absolutely shameful and worse what we are getting offered this time as so-called upgrades, because the bottom line is unfortunately almost nothing this time. It's also a matter of taste with the bladed colored parts, that's a fact, and I've heard several times that bladed colored parts are rather not so much loved among fans, mainly due to the likely lower durability. Therefore, it could be argued about if this is better or not for the new version compared to the coloring of the original version. The bladed red wings are also a matter of taste, but in terms of accuracy to the original character design alone, I definitely see a huge design failure for the bladed red wings here, and it seems very forced to have at least something that can be sold as something striking new. How I said several times before, this should be just a little summary. In addition, this time the figure is just a pure repaint with the same option parts as the already very well done 2014 version did included. And that's the fly in the ointment. And that it was a wrong decision and wasted potential that Bandai chose SH Figuarts Impeltramon as the next figure for a Premium Color Edition remake, and above all, it just screams for milking the mold. Because the 2014 version was already perfect and didn't simply offer so much room for any new improvements for a remake, that becomes extremely obvious with this all, which is also logical because it was perfect already. And in this respect we don't get even a few more new option parts and effect parts to have at least something new, which in this particular case would have been a must in order to at least turn things around a bit for the even higher price compared to the original version, to be able to justify it at least slightly a bit more. But on the contrary, they don't even consider a single new option part, which is just absolutely worse for offering a higher price in compared to the original version. Sadly, really only interesting for those who missed out the 2014 version and the resale in 2019 of it, and really loved this bladed look. As far as the bladed red wings are going, it is more of a controversial design for me. As I said, I even would set the same level of controversial color style for the wing like the controversial color choice of the 2016 SH Figuarts Wargreymon Bakura no Wargame version. Think about it, people. Was here the same designer again authorized to make decisions and at work who done color planning decisions for Bakura no Wargame Wargreymon? I had really hoped that Bandai would have fired this designer for a long time ago already. No matter, and jokes aside, I think that some of you will agree with me in this regard that this repaint and this color style for Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode PCE is a bit controversial, at least partly, and that the new color design is not necessarily better looking compared to the already very good color scheme of the 2014 version. That's why I see an extreme danger here as well, if this Imperial Dramon Premium Color Edition shouldn't be so well received by the fans and shouldn't sell so well as a result of all of this, which is actually already foreseeable, because milking the mold stands out extremely here and was in the foreground and not to offer something new to the fans. That it could mean that the revival of the Figuarts Digimon figure series get nipped in the bud through this again, which would be a real shame because of this, sorry, almost shitty choice by Bandai. Excuse me please, but I think this choice is really arguable and questionable. I mean, it would be their own fault, but that doesn't help us fans very much who might want to see completely different and new designs and characters as figures in this kinda revived series now. And if that should happen, we all know how Bandai deals with possible disinterest. Instead of learning from the mistakes and doing better next time, or making a better choice for the next time, if there even will be a next time at all. Because of the bad choice of Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode for new Premium Color Edition and how it went out. I won't buy this Imperial Dramon repaint for sure, so don't expect a review about it from me, and I would rather show you the 2014 version again in a new on-camera video, because I actually think the color scheme is partly better on this. And I would also advise you not to buy the Imperial Dramon PCE if you have the 2014 figure version and you are not totally into this new plated style. How I said, it's a matter of taste, but I think it's a wrong idea or design. Support or not, how I said in the recent videos about other figures, but in this case it is just shameful what we are getting here. I don't think it's easy to talk about. And with that we are through with the perhaps the most negative thoughts about video that I have ever created for my channel. I hope you liked it a bit anyway. If that should be the case, then I would be really happy about a thumbs up, and of course if you would subscribe to my channel. And please don't hesitate to write in the comments what you are thinking about the whole thing here. I'm out, saying goodbye and see you next time or next video. Your Mega 88 1000.